Hey, what's up? It's Privacy J here. It's time to continue my new MacBook Pro update. So yesterday we talked about the M3 versus the M4 the M3 versus the M4 chip buyer's guide. Buyer's guide. So let's start off with the M4 MacBook Pro again. So doesn't tempt doesn't tempt me because Apple Silicon Macs are almost too good. The new MacBook Pro is a beast, offering a phenomenal combination of performance and battery life, with the big bonus of a center stage camera and the option of a nano texture display. But I have to say that I'm not remotely tempted because honestly, the 2021 M1 Max MacBook Pro still feels to me like a brand new machine, and that phenomenon could be an issue for Apple going forward. A quick history of my Mac purchase. Historically, I tended to go for maxed out models and then hold on to them for at least 5 years. For example, the 2011 17-inch MacBook Pro was replaced in 2016 by the 15-inch Touch Bar model. Admittedly, that was easier back in the days when the MacBook Pro models were user upgradable. That was the 17-inch model went through three specs from purchase to sale. Bought from Apple as 8 GB RAM, 750 GB hard drive, and optical drive. Immediately upgraded to 16 GB of RAM and 2 times 1 TB hard drives. Later upgraded to 2 times 1 TB SSDs, solid state drives. Since then, a couple of things changed. One of which was Apple switched to non-upgradable designs, or certainly not easily user upgradable ones. My 2019 upgrade was mostly for the wrong reasons, put off by the reliability of the 2016 one. I would normally have keep that one longer, but the switch to Apple Silicon was impossible to resist. So that saw me upgrading again just 2 years. But the pace is not one I'm going to continue. The M4 MacBook Pro is a beast. Don't misunderstand me. It looks like a truly amazing machine. The M4 Max version, especially if your wallet is sufficiently bulky, you can spec it out up to 16 core CPU, 40 core GPU, 16 core neural engine, 128 GB unified memory, 8 TB solid state drive, nano texture display. Admittedly, you leave the store $7349, 7,349 later, and even most pros aren't going to go quite that far. But you can, if you want to, couple that to up to 24 hours of battery life, and it's a truly astonishing combination of performance and power efficiency. But the M1 Pro Max still feels brand new. I'm not, however, even slightly tempted. There has not been a single day on which eve which I've ever felt that the M1 Max MacBook Pro needed more power or a longer battery life. I absolutely love that I can use it to hook up to the 49-inch monitor and use it for the video editing and Final Cut Pro, but can also carry it without too much risk of injury and use it all day in a coffee shop or on a plane without having to worry about power. Oh, and I also really like the fact that it remains cool in my lap, and I rarely hear the fan spin up. My one concern would have been the fear of potential repair costs if it ever turned out to be as unreliable as the 2016 model. At one point, I wondered whether I had to resign myself to selling every time the Apple Core covers ran out. Fortunately, however, I haven't had any issues with this one, and the company solved the Apple Care problem back in 2021, allowing an annual renewals beyond these 3 years. I just renewed my cover yesterday, in fact. So I'm definitely planning on a return to roughly 5 year upgrade cycles, but might even go longer. Apple Silicon Macs may be almost too good, and this could be potentially pose a problem for Apple. The latest and greatest Apple Silicon Mac may be really impressive, but the older ones still remain phenomenal machines. Intel MacBooks used to spin up their fans like there were 747s, burn our thighs if we were ever foolish enough to do demanding work on them while they were on their laps, and eat batteries when they're doing anything more than email and web. M1 MacBooks were just a night and day difference, and the sheer scale of that upgrade means that even the M4 MacBook Pro like looks like something I buy if money were no object. But there's nothing to sell one to real world me. Indeed, if I were buying again today, I might even have been tempted to opt for a MacBook Air, as I know of humans happily using those for reasonably complex Final Cut Pro projects. Probably not, given that I like a lot of onboard storage and the Air Max is out at 2 terabytes. But it would be a perfectly viable in alternative viable alternative for a lot of humans who always bought Intel MacBook Pro models. Future design changes may help. Just because a new model comes out design doesn't mean you need to rush out and replace everything with the newest thing. His wife uses an M1 iMac and it still works just as great as the day it was unboxed. But in a few more years, when it feel like it's showing its age, we'll purchase whatever the M7 or M8 that is not coming out, or whether the current model is still it'll and is and I'm sure it'll work just as well for just as long. We have an older i7 MB Pro MacBook Pro that's still working just fine, but it's starting to show its age. But nothing too concerned for what it's used for. But even eventually, when it feels like it's time, we'll get whatever M series is available at the time. Meanwhile, the Windows-based work computer she was issued 2 years ago from the school she works at is constantly having issues, and she's constantly sending in tech requests and is extremely unreliable for basic uses of taking using slides and videos. When Apple releases something new and you feel like it's time to get something new, then great. But it's bizarre to see so many with this mentally mentally mentality mentality that just because they're putting out a new model, that means they're expected to throw everything they own in the garbage and buy the new model. It's such a bizarre mental mentality to have. Of course, spec is the only part of the picture, and it may be that future design changes will help. The form factor of of the Apple Silicon Macs is essentially unchanged from the first generation, but you kind of what you have to wonder how much longer the company that can come up with the worthwhile improvements to the design. There are OLED screens to come, of course, and I'm guessing Face ID at the same time. It still strikes me as weird that this didn't come to the MacBook as part of the notch. The bezels will get smaller, possibly enough to squeeze a 17-inch display into a 16-inch cases, or more likely, a 16-inch into a 15 inches size. Apple will probably find a way to make them a little lighter. Maybe we'll get a cellular model further ahead. OLED will be replaced by micro LED. So Apple will come up with other reasons for upgrades, but I do think it's going to have a work a lot harder than it did back in what now feels like the bad old Intel days. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this MacBook Pro update. So stay tuned for tomorrow or Sunday. I'll let you guys know when is the next topic is going to be. So before I have the final ones, so we have a few more to go. The videos what we talk about the next topic. Before I have to get a new MacBook Pro, most likely, as I said earlier, that I'm getting like M1, M2, M3, or M4 Max MacBook Pro, and I'll let you guys know when I get a new MacBook Pro when it's confirmed. All right. So that's all I have for today. So like and comment and subscribe or let me know about it. So if you're going to subscribe to my 3 channels, Prime CJ Productions 1, 2, and 3, and my content, all of my social medias will let you know all about it. Facebook, my name is Jaden Garcia. Instagram is JTech727. Snapchat is Scoots0727. And follow me on X is Prime CJ NYC1. So thanks for watching and peace out.